Как обычно, не проверил, какую раскладку поставил, английскую, русскую. Фух, надо сейчас тестить звук, все остальное. Алло, тест. Эхо есть, нету? Эхо. О, мне, кстати, надо цель убрать. Что там цель высвечивается? Так, звук в самой игре. Звук имеется. Продолжить. Я так и не решил, что мне делать. Пиздить, короче, только не пиздить. Типа мы будем агентом под прикрытием, мы сдадим этого мельника, и что дальше? Просто мельник работает на кого? На Сигизмунда или на этого? Или он просто продает, короче, чтобы продавать бабки. Ну, насрать, кому продавать.
Excuse me.
Что ты хочешь?
The Lord be with you. What do you...
How's your shift?
No great shape. I thank...
What's the
I don't know why you're asking, but if you're interested, it's all... It started...
Why don't you drive those...
Because they set up...
And the bailiff?
Bailiff throw... And meanwhile...
What's the...
How would I know? And why...
I'm a
Don't get...
We were...
I, then... But...
No.
Look.
I'm looking for...
Oh.
What the...
I don't know. See, call that beast to heel. You've got a damn cheek. Don't think I won't catch you. Take that.
Так, собака.
Heel. Sit. And stay.
What's that? I must be mad.
Strange. I heard.
offer of Hermes Trismegistos. That's Krazel's document.
А где делся Рихтарш?
Here!
Блядь, куда он съебался? Я да ему... А вон он.
I have to it's no well look if you something's crazy wouldn't in short
Good for great now.
you mean
Well,
myself
just carry on. It can be due. You mustn't let. And when we have an.
all right as soon as I get Krazel and his band in one place I'll tell you immediately.
Все, мы честно порядочный крысёныш. Кстати, мне надо чат включить. Книжку мы можем отдать. Я хотел пойти... Мамам. Да, сюда я хотел пойти, поскакать. Мне же больше нечего продавать. Ой, сука, мята у меня... Надо пойти продать. И кое-что засушить.
God bless you.
I'd like to discuss the. What would you?
Das Small. Ja, da finally. Danke und viel Glück für die Zukunft, Mann.
Quick!
Самое главное, будет ли миссия считаться провальной, если я, ну, попаду на свадьбу в любом случае?
God! Quick! Quick! Come on!
Good day.
Чё? А, спать.
Mutt, come here. Search.
Greetings. What can I do for you?
This place used to be a quarry.
No, it was the Hanging Gardens of Babylon. Of course it was a bloody quarry. This is where the stone for the entire castle was mined. Once the castle was completed, the mining stopped. But that was a long time ago. There's nothing left of those days. Just that old loony who keeps getting in our way.
When did they start building Trotsky?
Oh, I was but a babe when they started building the castle. The land still belonged to Sir Vincent of Vortenberg.
What loony were you talking about?
Well, I heard he was a stonemason at the quarry. The rumour around the village is he and his friends saved their pay for God knows what, but something went wrong. The one who knew where the coin was hidden fell off the top of the quarry and was dead on the spot. Since then, the other fella's been sleeping in a nearby dilapidated shack and coming here every day to look for the silver. He's gone completely insane. Batty old fool. You can't even reason with him.
Сколько стоит?
I'd like to compete at archery.
Your first time, eh? I don't remember your face from any previous contests. What's it to be? Longbow?
I think it's a...
All right. Of course, it's
Let's take the good old...
fine.
Hang on. Yeah, here it is.
Wait a while until... Take up your positions. Let them fly.
2 more points in the bag.
Как же долго,
Come
чё?
on, just one bullseye, that's all I'm asking.
The targets are further away today, aren't they?
A shitty 2 points again.
A shitty 2 points again.
Another decent shot.
Bloody wind! That was gonna be a bullseye.
Shot!
Bloody wind! That was gonna be a bullseye.
2 more points in the bag. Nice work, Fred.
Thank you.
Christ, what now?
I'd like to compete...
Again, I'm not so... What's it to...
Bo,
Oh,
let's take the...
fine.
Hang on. Yeah.
Wait a while. Attention! And loose!
I'm doing pretty well today.
Apollo himself today. 2 more points in the bag.
I'm doing pretty well today.
That wasn't too bad.
Bloody wind! That was gonna be a bullseye.
Another decent shot.
Shots!
2 points. Not great, not terrible.
I hit it!
Nice work.
Thank you.
Greetings. And with you. What are you here for?
What do you have for...
Что он продает? Боже, всякую хуйню продает.
What can you...
А у лошади ничего нету? В сумке. А есть. Лук.
do, sir? Maybe next time then.
I'd like to discuss.
Well, that sounds very well. I'm glad you found what you were looking for, sir.
Так, вон лестница наверх. Это отсылка на ассасина?
It really is here. That must be the old stonemason's silver.
Вот это вон. Но я бабки отдавать не буду, 500 голды, ты чё?
What do you want?
А сейчас замок, интересно, пропустит меня или нет? Или только по сюжету? А вот вход. Первый сапожник. Да. Сюда только по сюжету, походу. Ну все, да, получается, ехать. Аж больше никаких планов не было.
How come you weren't in church on Sunday?
You have a kind master.
Стой! Блять, у меня же книжка лежит, нет? Блять, нихуя не видно. Не понял вообще, в чем важность документа.
Look what I have for you.
Тридцать.
You have a kind master?
Here, mutt.
Чё меч не отображается? Барбос. Сотка. Отлично. Давай свое задание. Чертеж боевого меча.
I'd like to discuss.
Well... Aye. Pleasure doing business. Take care. How can I help? It's about those two idiot hands of mine, Venser and Franzi. They drove off with a cart full of goods towards Semin, and they never came back.
Do you want me to find them?
Just so. But more importantly, I want to know where my cart ended up, and especially the cargo. Go to Semin and find out what the bloody hell happened.
Окей.
Have you any idea which way they might have gone? I could have a look along the way. Maybe their cart broke down or something.
There's only one road to Semin that can take a cart. It leads from Takov to Troskovitz, and then to the south. But I've got a bad feeling they got up to no good in Semin.
Those two hands of yours, Venser and Franzi, what can you tell me about them?
Can't tell you much. They're wandering laborers. I don't think they wanted to stay here with me for long, but these days I can use all the help I can get.
Were they suspicious in any way?
No, they worked hard. They ain't no slackers. And I can't say that about everyone.
What was the cart carrying?
Bugger and bollocks. All sorts of stuff. I'd say Lord Semin wants to rearm his garrison with new equipment. There were some hunting swords, bastard swords, crossbow bolts. I also fixed the trigger on young Semin's crossbow. And some kitchen stuff. Sacks of charcoal, all sorts of things. There's a good month's work in that cartload.
All right. I'll get right on it then.
Go ahead. And if you find that pair of fools drunk, kick their asses for me.
Gladly. I'll kick some sobriety into them. Can I ask you about...
What is it?
All right.
Time.
М. А, вот он тоже как побочка получается. Я понял. Сейчас скидываем все лишнее. Подожди, так это мята, а не крапива. М.
Gah!
Ой, блядь. Фу. Там бандиты?
You want to try me? Show your stuff! In God's name! What do you want? Take that, you shit! Enough! I give up!
Ого, 330, неплохо.
Quick!
Должен быть бандит, по идее. И Лучецкий должен, по идее, заспавниться заново. Сейчас посмотрим.
Quiet. Turn around right now and get the hell out. That's enough. You're getting a thrashing.
No mercy!
Блин, а это, кстати, хороший это получается. Может, даже лучше, чем у меня. Так, колбаса заново заспавнилась. Книжка. Раньше книжки не было. Отлично. Блин, отлично. Реально спавнится заново лут. Золотой кубок сюда. Так, а это пустой. Что за книжка? Ой, такая уже есть.
I can't swim.
So I says to him, "No, father, I haven't been fornicating. I've just been loving my neighbour."
Hey, you're right there, laddie.
Oh, you should have seen him. He went as red as a cardinal's hat. Aye. Hey, servant, bring some wine.
Me? I'm not a servant.
Oh, I know. Old Samine is saving supplies for the wedding later. But you didn't need to bother your wee head about that.
Look, I'm not from here.
Oh. I didn't give a fuck what you pray. You speak our language, do you not?
Там поебалу.
Well, Yarko, seems to me this fella doesn't know how to behave toward his betters.
The old man's hired hands are lacking in manners. We'll soon fix that. You're in for an ass kicking, you piece of shit.
Why did you do that? That chick for carapasting. Go on, send him off.
Fucking bastard.
Come on. Oh, you wee bastard!
The devil's name is fucking going on here?
What do you think's going on, Grandad? I'm teaching your people here how we do things.
Grandad?
Why, Grandad? An old captain like you probably still remember the flood.
True enough, Yurko. I am old. And I remember all sorts of things. Like you. When you were a little nipper running around here bare arse, with a ribbon in your hair, screaming out how you was Princess Sophie. Poor lad, hadn't a moment's peace from his big sisters.
What about that wine?
Who in God's name are you?
Henry. The Takoff blacksmith sent me. Radovan.
Blacksmith, eh? Then you'll have some explaining to do. Come along and never mind that fool Yurko. Young Samin's getting married, so we has to put up with his kin from Moravia.
А это мы жениха отпиздили, что ли?
We'll be needing a dozen geese. And I must tell Vashek to get 3 pigs ready for slaughter. And the carters will have to be sent to Yetchin to get at least a peck of poppy seed for cakes. And gingerbread spices. Oh, and wine, too. It's almost all gone, what we bought only last week.
Enter!
Sorry to intrude, sir. This is Henry, blacksmith Radovan's hand.
Oh, excellent. Dorothy, leave us now. Just make sure that there's plenty of everything so long as it doesn't cost too much.
But, sir...
Not another word! Leave us! So Radovan sent you alone. Who's going to unload it all? It's a whole cartload.
Yeah, Radovan sent me, sir, but not with the goods. The thing is, he's missing his cart, along with the carter in his hands.
What? But they never came here. Are you telling me they got lost?
I couldn't tell you what happened to them, sir, but it's my job to find them.
There are all sorts of vermin roaming the countryside.
Oh, no
so...
need to imagine the worst right off, gnarly. Anyway, I need the load from that cart, so saddle up your old nag and we'll ride out, Captain. I could do with a breath of fresh air. I've had it up to the eyeballs with counting geese and pies.
What about Henry here, sir?
Well, what about him?
Кстати, у этого чела голос как у сотника Бернарда, по-моему, из первой части.
We could use an extra pair of hands. You know how my shoulder's acting up. Yurko is shit-faced, and your son...
The older has work to do. All right, take Henry with you if you want. Just so long as he doesn't slow us down.
Thank you, sir. So, lad, you going with us? I hope you're happy about it.
Yeah. I'll be glad to help you.
Oh, you reckon we can't manage on our own?
No, that's not how I meant it.
Take it easy, son. I'm only yanking your pizzle. So, do you know what to do? Or have you got any more questions?
Actually, there is something I'd like to ask about. This Yurko and his mates, who are they?
They're Lord Samin's kin. They're fine as long as they don't get too much booze inside them.
Only they're from Moravia, so they're never far from the booze.
But what can I tell you, lad? Each to himself. Besides, they stick with the family when push comes to shove. And you can't say that about everyone.
And you, sir? What is it you do?
Well, son, I wonder if I haven't made a mistake about you. If you haven't figured me out by now, you can't be very bright.
No, I just meant, what exactly is it you do for Lord Semin? And your name isn't exactly very common.
I'm the captain here, and I'm sure I don't have to tell you what a captain does. As for my name, it's a nickname Lord Samin's grandpa gave me. May he rest in peace. When I joined his service as a young fella, I took my gnarly club with me. Wouldn't use anything else. I was used to it. And more than once helped me to, well, win an argument. I broke many a hard skull with it. And it's still in one piece. We've been together so long, we even share the same name.
You're lucky you didn't turn out to be Captain Knob.
Or Captain Headcracker. You're right.
I'd like to go and see that wedding.
Wouldn't we all, lad? And what would you do there?
Well, I heard Lord von Burghoff will be at the wedding, and I need to speak with him.
Son, I don't know if you're serious or yanking my pizzle. Anyways, you're Radovan's hand, ain't ya? He'll be coming to the wedding. He's making a wedding gift for the groom. Stick with him, and maybe he'll take you with him.
We should probably get going.
That we should. But it's getting pretty late. We need daylight for a search like that. Come back in the morning and we'll set out. If you want, stay here. You'll get a bit of grub in the kitchen and you can sleep in the barn.
Он мне так просто оставляет, короче, здесь. Чисто я могу все облутать здесь.
Christ be praised, sir. God bless.
20:11.
What?
What can I do for you?
Take my things to my chambers.
Of course. God be with you. Keep the peace and we'll stay friends.
Greetings, Master Guard.
Наверх не можно?
Christ! Pardon me.
Don't get ideas. I wasn't at my best. Well, I'm not gonna scrap with you again.
Это шо?
Why don't you want another fight?
Why would I want to stramash? I'm near a man of violence. Tradition has been honored already.
You're accustomed to beat up envoys who come to the courtyard.
Envoy or no, when a new bloke turns up and gives us a queer look, he gets a clout in the gob. That's fair, isn't it?
Well, no. It's not a custom where I'm from.
See? I learnt you something about Moravian ways.
You've got quite an unusual accent. Where are you from?
Can't you tell? From Znojmo in Moravia. Lovely country. All vineyards and bonny lasses.
But you don't like it here?
You see any vineyards and bonny lasses here? The locks are broad, all right. They didn't exactly lift your spirits, but more the other way around.
You're related to the Semines, if I understood right.
Aye, I wouldn't near be here otherwise. My great-grandmother married young Lord Semin's great-uncle. It's not every day that your, first cousin, once removed, gets married.
Twice removed. But that doesn't matter.
Ah, who cares? There'll be a good old shindig, that's all that counts.
You're a long way from Moravia. You must hold Lord Semin in high esteem.
My pa holds all his kin in high esteem, so he sends us all over the place. But we didn't have all far to go. We were at a wedding in Rottenburg last week, a wee bit from Yihlava. Before that, it was a bairn's christening at Koschenberg, and another wedding in Dalchin. Then a friendly visit to our kin, the Shellbergs in Coolberg. That's all I mind. I haven't been home for 6 months, and I didn't care.
Так, а помыться надо опять. Ой, мыло заспавнилось еще раз. Прикольно. Так, что у меня там по броне я там понаходил? О, вот сюда, длинный хаубрек. Так, а этот хаубрек, он такой же самый, да. Лучше его надеть тоже. Рано утром.
Here you go. Take it.
I'm always glad to see polite people like you. God be with you.
Greetings.
You have a kind master, eh, Doggy?
May God give you health. Sir.
Look what I have for you.
Что, поехали?
I'm ready to set out, sir.
All right. Stay close to us and don't... go wandering off.
As you say, sir.
Where will you start searching, sir?
If they drove out of Tarkov and headed towards us, they had to pass through Troskovitz.
Right, sir. You keep up with us, son. Troskovitz ain't far, but it seems there's fellas vanishing on the way.
Very good, Captain.
What do you think about it, Captain?
I know you told me not to jump to any conclusions, sir, but I can't help myself. Someone's running rampant around here, sir.
I know who's running rampant. Yurko in the cellar. We're out of wine again. I knew this wedding wouldn't be cheap, but I'm bleeding like a stuck pig. And the bailiff, the bride's father, You'd get more blood out of a stone than coin out of him. And then he behaves like I shit golden eggs just because I'm a noble. Even though he's got more coin than me.
Such are the times, sir. But that Yurko, he's going too far.
You know how those Moravians are. It's in his blood.
Aye, I noticed. But they're getting too much to handle. Him and his cronies. They started on young Henry, soon as he set foot on the courtyard.
What? Is that true, Henry?
It was nothing. Just a bit of a friendly brawl. They clearly had a skinful. I can understand it.
Well, I've sure as hell got no understanding for it. I hope they didn't hurt you.
Young Henry here gave Yurko a nice hammering.
Oh, that's no surprise. The fella can hardly stand upright most of the time.
You'd have to get up early to catch them sober. But they wasn't that drunk as to give Henry an easy fight.
Look here, lad. If you're such a champion, I'm sure you'd accept the challenge of an old man like myself.
All right, sir. If you're up to it.
You'll see soon enough that I am Greenhorn. I need a bit of a stretch anyway. There's an abandoned pen along the path a bit. We'll stop off there and see what you're made of.
Отлично.
Right, sir. If you'll excuse me, I'll explain some things to the youngster here first. Wouldn't want no accidents happening.
So, we're here. Gnarly, tell the youngster here what's what.
All right, son. You're going to fight Lord Sameen. It'll be an honorable fight, so you better act accordingly. Hold on, Mo. I'll give you some gear for it.
That won't be necessary. I've got all I need.
Well, all right. But it never hurts to have something in reserve. You can have my cudgel. It might be just a stick, but it's my stick, so careful with it.
Thank you, Captain.
Save the thanks, and get your arse into the pen.
Все, лошадь готов. Получить пизды.
So, young'un, are you ready?
All right, let's do it. You can't take me!
We'll see about that.
What do you say, son?
You win!
Чё, блядь? Я что, нажал случайно единичку, блядь, охуели, что ли?
So, young'un, are you ready?
All right, let's do it.
I'll sort you out nicely. Take that.
There's no escape!
wanker!
You can't take me!
We'll see about that.
Henry, come here. What do you say, son?
I didn't even work up a sweat.
Climb off your high horse, sonny. You might have won, but you ought to show a...
Да еще раз.
So, young'un, are you ready?
All right, let's do it.
Wanker! Oh, no, you don't. Come on, then.
Связка, какая тут связка? Апперкот. Налево, налево, вправо.
Oh, fucking hell! Show your stuff.
No mercy!
Corver, I'm wounded.
Так. Каждая последняя оружие, например, сервис больше.
You can't take me!
We'll see about that.
What do you say, son?
You really gave me the runaround.
I'm no spring chicken, but I'm as spry as ever.
God's truth, sir. You didn't disgrace yourself, but I can see the young un has spirit. Anyways, you can keep that old junk, Henry. Even my cudgel. But take care of the old fella. He might be just a piece of wood, but he saved my arse more than once.
Прикалывайся, чел.
And since you won, I've got something else
Нахуй мне
for you as
твоя,
well.
блядь, палка?
My shield.
Нахуй мне твой щит?
Isn't that a bit too much, Gnarly?
Sir, my left shoulder's fucked anyway. I can't carry no shield.
True enough.
Thank you.
Засуньте себе в одно место в это, блядь, щит свой и, блядь, ебаную палку. Чё, прикалываетесь? Хуйня ебаная, блядь. Выкинь её, блядь. Позорище. Со своей дубинкой.
Good.
Ah, I needed that. It's good to stretch the limbs every now and again. And you're pretty handy, youngster. You should come to the courtyard, and Gnarly here will give you a good education in the art of the sword.
I call it the art of not getting skewered as soon as you step foot outside the village. But do come in. We've got a nice arena in Sameen. It ain't no abandoned pig pen.
You can't always choose your battleground, Gnarly. Whether it's a pig pen or an arena in Karlstein, it's the performance that counts. And while we're on the subject, where are you from, lad? It's clear you're not from Trotsky.
I'm from Silver Scallops, sir.
Aha! Now I understand why you're here. You're not the first one to flee here from the war.
I don't flee from a fight, sir. I have work here, and a lot of scores to settle.
You want to get revenge for what happened back home? That usually doesn't end well. You'd be better advised to find yourself a well-built girl, build a cottage, and visit the church and the tavern in turn. There's no helping the dead anyway.
That's nice advice, sir. Only women will tie you down, lad. Better to go and see a bit of the world. You're doing the right thing. So, we're in Troskowitz. What now, sir? Should I go to the bailiff and ask if he might have seen someone?
Well, that makes sense. But the young fella here should do it. If the bailiff sees you, he'll guess I'm in the village and come and bother me. And I'm really not in the mood today for any bombardment of complaints.
I understand, sir. All right, Henry. Run along to the rat house and inquire about that wagon.
And Henry, not a word about me. Are we clear?
About who? Since you're not here, how could I speak of you?
That's what I like to hear. Now run along.
Master Bailiff, can I ask you about something?
Ask away, by all means. Wait now, aren't you that lad who's helping Radovan in the forge?
Yeah, that's me.
I heard his hired hands went missing.
Yeah, that's exactly why I'm here.
Ah, I was thinking they were driving awful fast with that cart.
You saw them?
I did, a few days back. They raced through the village in the early evening so fast, they were dropping sacks of charcoal.
Where were they headed?
Towards the east, to Apollonia on the road to Yichin. And you're looking for them?
I am indeed.
I'm glad to hear it. I heard there were goods for Semine on that cart, and I can do without that kind of trouble now, on account of the wedding, you know?
It seems you have a lot of concerns with that wedding, Master Bailiff.
Of course I do. I'm the father of the bride, after all. Although not everyone sees eye to eye with me. Lord Semine would be happier if I paid all the bills and left all the decisions up to him. Who's invited, what there'll be to eat and drink, entertainment, everything. It's not like I have a burning desire to deal with it, but if I'm going to pay for it...
I understand. But isn't it just that the Grooms family is more concerned about these things?
That's not it. I'll tell you what it is. It's because Lord Semine is a noble and I'm just a commoner. Only I've got coin. while he's trying to keep the wolf from the door in that piddling estate of his.
You're right, Master Bailiff. Don't worry, though. People will find out you spared no expense for your daughter's wedding.
Let's hope. More like that old miser will go around saying the opposite. It's a shame.
I don't think Lord Semin would do that. Do you know anything about Radovan's hired hands?
Only what I've told you. But to tell you the truth, I wouldn't mind if they never turned up again.
Why's that?
Well, they might look like butter wouldn't melt in their mouths, and Radovan praises them, but I know people. That pair have mischief in their eyes. I can tell.
That'll be all. Thanks.
Well then, young man, how did it go?
They were spotted here, sir. Going to the east, towards Apollonia.
So the Yitchin? The bastards! And what about my goods?
Oh, they were driving so fast, it was falling off the cart.
The thieving scum. Let's hurry. To Yitchin!
Sir, I can send a message to the Itchin captain of the guard.
Oh, it'll take too long. We'll go and get them ourselves.
Won't you be missing preparations for the wedding at home, sir?
I will. Praise the Lord Jesus Christ. If I have to choose between riding to Yitchin and listening to Dorothy's endless fussing, I'll take Yitchin any time. Besides, there's a nice inn along the way. The Three Cats.
А это вообще не был, наверное, да?
I remember that place. I'm not sure, sir, if they'll let the two of us set foot inside the door.
Oh, no, 15 summers ago. God knows if the place is even still standing.
True. Still, we'd better keep our eyes peeled. They might not have gone to Yitchin. They could have turned off somewhere. Or something could have happened. They might have been ambushed, maybe.
When you give over at that, I'll bet my braves they weren't ambushed. More likely we'll find them cruising at the Three Cats.
That'd surely be the best outcome, if that old dive is still standing. Let's go then. So, St. Anthony, which way now?
While you're praying to the patron saint of lost things, go and have a look along the road, Gnarly. And you, Henry, have a look to the left.
All right, sir. But don't forget, my eyesight ain't what it used to be.
Well, that's what we have the youngster for, isn't it? Off you go.
А, ну кладбище я уже был.
Here, mutt.
Sack of charcoal. Could have fallen off the cart.
Found anything, lad?
There's a sack of charcoal lying in the ditch to the left of the road. The bailiff said they were driving like the devil, so maybe it fell from the cart.
Oh, that makes sense. To the left it is then. Gnarly! Back here! There.
We're getting close. I can feel it in my bones, sir. You'll have the car back.
I just hope we find the horses too. Yarmilka here ain't the youngest, and I wouldn't want to drag it back home myself.
A nobleman in harness. We ain't ever had such a spectacle in these parts.
You might get to see it soon enough. The lords in this country have all gone to the dogs. Every lowborn with a bit of coin builds a house in Kuttenberg while we live in squalor. Why do you reckon that is, lad? Nothing to say, lad? Well, I can't blame you. None of this would be happening if we had a king. And I mean a real one. Not Wenceslas or Sigismund. Oh, anywhere that's not ruled by a strong hand, all sorts of things go wrong.
Especially when you've got Moravian relatives eating you out of house and home.
Да, блять, как хуёво болеть. Это пиздец. Насморк, горло. Аж.
Whoa, whoa.
Quick! Oh, hold up. This is strange. I don't see any cart tracks.
Блять, ну, пиздец.
What do you reckon, Charlie?
I'm blind as a mole, sir. But it's all peculiar right now. Where the hell could that cart have vanished to?
Well, that's just it. They had nowhere to turn off.
I'll look up the road a bit. And you, Henry, have a look back along the road. Maybe it fell in a ditch somewhere. Who knows?
Very well, sir. The blacksmith's cart. And someone went to a hell of a lot of trouble to hide it from the road.
Hey! I found the blacksmith's cart! Come here!
Значит, они все спиздили, получается.
Well, now, here we have it. The blacksmith's cart.
And someone went to a lot of trouble to hide it from the road.
Of course, the goods are gone. The bastards hauled it off to the rocks. That's clear. Well, we can't let them get away with it. We'll carry on, but on foot. My old young milker would only break a leg there. And keep a sharp lookout. Something stinks here.
I told you. They got ambushed by them bastards that's on the rampage round here, sir.
Oh, be quiet. Still can't be sure of anything.
Ah, Apollonia. I spent a lot of time running around here as a young lad.
Oh, not me. This place always gave me the shivers.
God's truth, I ain't got only good memories of it. One time, got my legs stuck in a crevice a bit further on. Trapped there all night I was, shitting myself with fear. It wasn't till morning that the folk from the fortress found me. The whole of Sameen was out looking for me.
See, at least you came here as a kid. It still gives me the creeps here.
Why is that, sir? It's just some rocks, ain't it?
You'd sing a different tune if you'd had the rope maker's wife as a nanny when you were little. Now, she had some tales about this place. Headless horsemen, goblins, and white ladies. Every night, we'd gather by the hearth. The old woman would sit at her spinning wheel telling stories. I'll tell you, Captain, there isn't much I'm afraid of. But when that blind old crone was croaking her tales of devils and holes to hell, with the fire crackling and the wind whistling outside the windows, and the whirring of the spinning wheel... Oh, shh. Wait a moment. Do you hear that?
I do. There's somebody there, sure enough.
Let's get closer. What do we do now? I heard more than two voices.
I used to clamber around here as a young lad. The girls from Slatigo used to come make a fire here and jump over it. And so's their underwear wouldn't catch fire. Sometimes they'd take it off.
That's nice, Gnarly. But I don't think it's scantily clad maidens we'll be running into here. So what's that got to do with anything?
Well, there's a nice view into the gorge from up there. We only have to go back a bit, and we can get up there nicely.
Right. Henry, what are you waiting for? This is just the kind of thing we took you along for.
Sure, sir. With a bit of luck, there might be some girls there, too.
I could do without girls with voices like that. Now get going.
For a wench, he's got a miserable pair of tits on him. You don't say.
Those definitely aren't
You
the
really
blacksmith's
saw that?
hands.
I'm not kidding. Honza, tell him I'm not having him on. You saw it too.
So how's it look, Sonny? How many?
I saw 3. And they don't look like Radovan's hands.
And what about my goods?
I didn't see them. It looked more like a patrol. I reckon there might be more of them hereabouts.
Seems we can't avoid a fight. I hope you're ready, Henry.
Of course. We'll smash them to smithereens, and in the evening, we'll drink a toast from their skulls. Ha-ha!
Hold your horses, son. Keep some of that piss and vinegar for the fight. You might have whipped me in that pig pen, but this is a different matter.
So, how are we gonna do it? Do you just want to charge them, sir?
What else do you suggest?
We ought to pounce on them, while we have the moment of surprise.
The words of a real man. So get ready, and we'll go for them. Nice and quick, before the bastards realize what's going on.
Jesus, Hans, don't start yet. I'm trying to tell a story for amusement, not listen to your suppo...
He's had it.
What's the hold up, damn it? Stop dawdling.
Понял, меня ушатал, конечно, так. Еще. А, у меня закончились... у меня закончились эти... Бронника.
What's the hold up, damn it?
А если челов не убивал раньше?
Stop dawdling. What's the hold up, damn it? What's the hold up, damn it? What's the hold up, damn it?
Oh, this day took it out of me, and no mistake.
And it ain't over yet, sir. Your goods ain't here. And none of them bastards look like the blacksmith's hands. Am I right, Henry?
Well, we can't ask them now.
Oh, well. That's how it goes sometimes.
But I don't think it was them.
Me neither. But right past that peak is another good camping spot.
You think this was a patrol?
It makes sense. But I don't want to go assuming the worst. We might have just run into them bandits by chance.
Yeah, well, you were right, as always. Let's go, then. Are you ready, Henry?
I am. Let's go.
I thought we had everything clear, then, sir. You tried to fuck with me, so until we ride out, you're gonna stick right there and keep your mouth shut.
We did everything you asked. We got the blacksmith cart and the goods.
Horse shit. You tried to fuck me. That bastard cousin of yours owned up to it.
It was his idea. I wanted nothing to do with it.
Make no difference to me, Venser. You vouched for the crooked fucker. So now, it's on you. Actually, you could consider yourself lucky. If you hadn't saved my ass that time in Colleen, I'd have goat ear skin you alive.
Bastards. You can't trust anyone in these parts. Get ready, Gnarly. We are going to parley.
Like that time with the Shani, sir?
Yes, exactly.
Only there was more of us that time, and less of them.
Oh, don't worry, there won't be a problem. They're just common thieves. Besides, I'll take young Henry with me.
What, me?
And if they're still feeling brave, you get to try out that new plaything of yours. Ahem, gentlemen, I'm obliged to you for looking after my goods, but I'll take them back now. Just hand them over, and I'll let you go.
Oh, you must be from Samin, sir. Of course you can have everything back. Just as long as you ask nicely, eh? Well, how about we do things differently? You lay down your weapons, and we can all have a nice little chat. I mean, I don't intend to go murdering local lords. I just want your coin.
That's very noble of you, sir.
What are you gaping at? At them!
Kick your asses! You poor son!
Good. Come on, then!
For glory!
I'll beat you to a bloody pulp, fucker!
You're a dead man. You know that?
Right up to it.
You had enough yet?
God and the blessed Virgin.
They got what they deserved, the fuckers.
You have to spare
Henry! Hey, Henry! Are you listening? Come here!
What now?
One of them bastards fled into the rock.
Did you see which way he went?
No, I had other things on my...
I'll go and...
Great.
I'm still from a noble family. Rich or poor, you can't just lynch me.
Well, who's going to stop me?
The law?
I can't see any law here. But I can see lots of crows that will enjoy feasting at you.
Don't be rash, sir. You don't want bad things said about your family.
Crows can't talk.
You never know. Word always gets around. People are already saying stuff about you. They never expected you to let your son marry a villager.
Crushes the bailiff.
Bailiff or not, his family's common as muck. And then there's the talk about money. They say you're hard up, sir.
You really do want to hang, don't you? Carry on like that and you'll get what's coming to you.
I'm just telling you what people are saying. It's not easy for us nobles.
No, it's not.
At least there's something we agree on.
Like I said, we'll see what will happen to you. And not another word now.
As you wish, sir. Although...
Be quiet.
А, вот что за лагерь был. Я понял. О-хо-хо-хо-хо! Третья кость. Сюда. Ой, так, навыки воровства. Это можно, наверное, закрыть простые замки тогда. Это не считается преступлением, но будет сложно ведь еще. Вот это хорошо.
Please, let me go. I just want to go home.
Here you go. Take it.
Другое место. Кто-то наверх пошел, наверное.
I've got you now, Venser. You've nowhere to run to.
Yield.
Well, why the fuck would I? It's just you against me. Besides, if I do yield, it's the rope for me anyway.
One-on-one, yeah. But it must be clear to you that you're no match for me. Even if the noose is waiting for you, it's still a more pleasant death than getting your head smashed in with a rock. And believe me, I'll do it if there's no other way.
Fuck! Alright, I'll come with you. But you'll put a word in for me.
I might. As long as you don't try anything.
Promise me.
I won't promise you anything. Now come on. I've got a prisoner for you, sir.
Excellent. It all worked out quite well in the end. Gnarly will take care of this scum.
What about Gules?
He caught a few good hits, but he's alive. We'll take him with us. I need to have a strong word with him. You did a good job, youngster. You've got heart. And so you don't say I had you clambering over these rocks for nothing. Here's something for you.
Thank you, sir.
Don't thank me, you deserved it.
80, блять,
Now,
пиздец.
let's get that accursed cart back to Samin. Want to ride? We'll go via Troskovitz. We can drop you off there, and you won't have far to Tarkov. You ought to report back to Radovan as soon as possible about what happened with his hands.
What's going to happen with that pair?
You mean Radovan's hands? We'll see. The one that ran for it, it's clear with him. The other fellow was tied up, so who knows what went down. Maybe he was innocent. Gnarly'll have a word with him, and we'll see what he tells us.
A ride would be great. My legs are sore.
Wait until you're my age. Well, let's get going.
I didn't do nothing wrong, I swear. It's all Vence's fault. It was him who said we'll sell the car to Gills.
It weren't like that at all. We shook on it. But on the way, you had the idea we'd keep it.
What? That ain't true.
Leave it out, you two. One way or another, you wanted to fuck me over. Doesn't matter whose idea it was.
So, you wanted to steal the cart for yourselves, but you still got caught?
I didn't want to steal anything. That was Vencer.
It was your idea. What the fuck are you talking about, blaming Benson?
21:04.
You really are prize idiots. If you hadn't gone round the rocks, you could easily have got away. But I've got a big heart, so I said... to give you a hand.
I told Francie it wasn't a good idea to nick it.
Bollocks. As soon as you saw the lads, you gave the horses the whip. You were holding the reins, Vencer.
You see?
While you were shouting rude insults. So you're both in it up to your necks, as far as I'm concerned.
Where are you taking us?
To Samin, where his lordship will hear you out and decide what to do with you.
I hope you realise you can't just execute me.
Ah, it depends. By rights, I should send a plea to some court to decide if we can behead you. But in these shitty times, nobody will give a toss. They ain't free either. So as far as I'm concerned, I'd happily risk it and lop your head off without permission.
I see how the law is respected here.
Ha! Are you yanking my pizzle? You're a fine one to talk about law.
And what will happen to us?
If Lord Samin's in a good mood, he'll try to find out whose idea it was.
It definitely wasn't mine.
You're such a rat, Francie.
On the other hand, when I hear you lot going on and on, I reckon he might not give a damn.
I'm innocent. I swear on my soul.
Is that supposed to soften my heart? Pah! Every man she could, I dragged to the gallows, swore on his mother. Nobody with any decency would risk his mother's immortal soul, even if he was as pure as the driven snow. But this bastard doesn't think twice about his soul. You should be ashamed of yourself.
The captain's right. Only the lowest of the low swears on his mother.
That's right. You always were a piece of shit, Francie. No scruples.
Well, Ain't it grand to have you here to explain everything? Now shut your gobs, the three of you. Don't want you poisoning the air with the shit you spout.
I'm always glad to see polite people like you.
God be with you. How's the watch going?
Right, we're in Troskovitz. This is where you get off, Henry.
В смысле?
Captain.
Don't forget to go and tell Radovan what happened, so he can stop worrying.
Will do.
And drop by Sabine sometime. You may be wet behind the ears still, but you're a laugh to have around.
Wet behind the ears? You're a bit young for that kind of talk, Captain.
Ah, if only.
Он едет в Семин, а я могу отправиться в Тахов отсюда.
Go! Ja! Go! Ja! Go!
Блять. Тупо в ветку уебался.
Ja!
Так, а мы ничего не вернули, получается.
I'd like to discuss.
Very well. Thank you, sir. And come again.
Блин, а чё у меня такой перевес жесткий?
you fucking piece of shit.
Let's talk about...
Well...
Do you...
Well... Fine. Great. Happy to be of service. Take care, sir.
I need to sharpen this.
I'm sorry.
Christ, pardon me.
So, job done. The cart was found and driven to Lord Semin's courtyard.
Так он же пустой.
That's a relief. And what happened to that pair of idiots?
It turned out they tried to rob you.
Oh. They did they?
Aye. They plotted with some robber baron called Gules and brought the cart to him.
The bastards. I should have realized they were a bit too keen on work. And how did you get the cart back?
Well, I went to Semin, and they were wondering there too where the wagon got to. So we rode out to look for it. Me, Lord Semin, and his captain, Gnarly.
Well, God's nails. And the three of you tracked them down? The whole band?
That's right. They were hiding in Apollonia, along with the carts and the goods.
Indeed. Where else? The bastards. And what about my hands?
I'm not sure. Lord Semin took them and Gules to his courtyard. We'll see how he deals with them.
I'd know what to do with them.
Don't worry. I don't think Lord Semin will let them off lightly.
Anyway, the main thing is the cart turned up. I'd be in a right mess if it didn't.
No doubt.
And you've earned a reward for your trouble. I've got just the thing for you. Some mercenary once had his cuirass repaired here, but never came back for it. Who knows what happened to him? So now it's yours. It's been through a bit, but it'll still serve for a while.
Thanks. It'll come in handy. And have you got another job for me?
Young Lord Semin's wedding is coming up, and it's got my head spinning. Look, you must have seen Agnes, the bailiff's daughter, when you were in Truscovitz. What do you think of her?
Well, young Semin is marrying her, isn't he? Why would I have my eye on her?
Don't pretend. A statue of a saint would have his eye on her. Looks ain't everything, though. She's got such a sharp tongue on her. I almost feel sorry for young Semin. And how about you, lad? Have you got some lass waiting in Sasau?
Yeah. And I hope she'll wait. Her name's Teresa. Her uncle owns a mill on the river in Ratai.
A girl from a mill? You want to watch out for them types. You might get caught up in devilry, lad. A wedding's a serious business. You're not just getting a bride, but a whole family. So you have to show them you're a man who's worth it. All the more so when you're noble born. Old Semin wants a special sword forged for his son's wedding present.
Excellent. So what are we waiting for? Should we get to work?
Hold your horses. It can't be any old steel. This has to be a first-class job.
A blade of first-class steel?
That's right. And that's just the problem.
Ah, I see. We don't have any welded steel for that kind of sword, do we?
God's nails. You really know your stuff, youngster. And you're right. We don't have the steel for a strong sword that won't break.
I'd like to know where you're going to get your hands on some welded steel.
Relax, lad. I've got it all figured out, as it happens. There's this old hermit called Ambrose. living in Apollonia.
And he can pray for us?
God's nails, let me finish talking. The word is, he was fighting heathens years ago in faraway Andalusia, and folks say they saw this interesting broken sword in his hut. From the description, it seems our peculiar hermit has a real Toledo blade.
Welded Spanish steel? There's nothing better for a sword.
See now? You do understand. But there's a catch.
Naturally.
They say that Ambrose the Hermit has changed a lot recently. People from far and wide used to go to him for remedies and blessings. But now he won't see no one. I even heard he made a pact with the devil. And there have been other strange goings-on.
What strange goings-on?
I heard something in the tavern about some apparition. But that's all I know.
With the devil? Why would the hermit make a pact with the devil?
No idea. It might just be old wives' tales.
Where can I find the hermit?
Do I look like someone who goes to a hermit for advice? I know he has a hut somewhere in Apollonia. But you'll have to ask the Truscovitz womenfolk if you want to know more.
Right. I'll try to find out more about the hermit's sword. But in return, you'll get me invited to Semin's wedding.
If it means so much to you, why not? Come and see Betty from the Truscovitz Tavern. She knows all the gossip. She'll definitely tell you more about the hermit. But Henry, if there's any truth in that pact with the devil, don't get caught up in it. The best sword in the world isn't worth eternal damnation.
Так, поскакали к мельнику, что ли? Покушать. 47.
I can't swim. Captain, what'll happen with that robber baron from Apollonia now that we've captured him?
You mean Gules? He'll stay with us. Lord Semin has already taken him on.
Why did he take on a bandit? I have to admit, he's a skillful swordsman, but he's still just a common bandit.
Not so common. They say he's of noble birth, so Lord Semin didn't have much choice.
Do you think you can trust him?
Don't worry. If Gules doesn't prove himself, Lord Semin won't trust him.
Such a good swordsman could... How should he do that?
Clearly, we didn't wipe out his old gang of bandits in Apollonia. So he's got to catch the rest of his people that are still on the rampage.
How did Jules end up?
He's a noble, so Lord Sameen took him into his service.
What? Why would he do that? After Jules tried to rob him?
That's the nobility and their rules for you. A peasant would get the noose right away. But the lords play a different game together.
And you don't have a problem with that, Captain?
I don't, but I'll keep a close eye on him. Trust me. But anyway, there's all sorts in service in Sameen. You can't do a job like this for long without getting dirty hands.
I expect the same applies to you?
Well, my hands might be dirty, but my conscience is clean. There's some folk might tell you a different story, but that's how it goes.
What happened with the blacksmith's hands in the end?
A fine pair of rascals they were. His lordship let the younger fella be, Franzi. He swore on the cross that he didn't want no part in thievery, and it was that cousin of his, the older fella, Fencer, what talked him into it. So he kept him here as a hand. His lordship has a kind heart.
And how did Venser end up?
Not good. Lord Sameen had him strung up from a tree near here. Normally we'd have sent for the executioner, but time was pressing.
I think I've heard all I need to know. I'd like to learn a new combat technique.
Don't be foolish. We wouldn't even see what we're swinging at. Come back later.
I'd like to learn something.
What are you interested in?
Бой мечом.
I'm interested in sword fighting.
Fine, but it'll take some time.
I'd like to learn something.
What is this about?
I'd like to know a few tricks with a halberd.
Thanks. I'll teach you one trick, but it'll take time to learn it.
Так, а это кто? О, здорово.
Have you already taken care of your band?
Don't you start with that too.
So you didn't.
After you attacked me in Apollonia. I'm so battered I can hardly wipe my own arse. Old man Sameen will just have to be a bit more patient.
What if I helped you?
Well, well. Someone fancies himself.
I can handle a few footpads.
These aren't any ordinary footpads. They're a bunch of the most depraved whoresons I've ever met. Do you dare to take them on?
СБ, да.
Yeah. Just tell me what I need to do.
So listen up. From what I've heard, there's another 4 of those scum roaming the countryside. I'd bet my boots that a few more will hitch up with them in time, so it won't be easy. You can start with Canker.
Canker? Interesting name. Why is he called that?
He already had that name when he joined us. I reckon they started calling him that on account of how he's rotten to the core.
If you say so.
Hey, don't be cheeky, youngster.
Where can I find him?
I don't know. I only know that he and his band were ambushing travelers on the road from Troskovitz to the Nabarkov mill.
So how do you want to find him then?
Easy. I'd wait for him to find me. With a little luck, he'll ambush you in one of those places too. Or one of his people will.
You don't have a better idea?
What did you expect? That I'd search the whole forest for him? Go ahead and try and find him that way if you like. But I think you're more likely to roll straight sixes and dice.
Again,
Either can.
What do you know about...
He likes to disguise himself as a monk and ambush travelers. He looks convincing in a robe, but otherwise he's an awful heathen. Always drunk, just like the rest of his band.
That could be useful.
Definitely, if you get lucky.
What do you know about his band?
Not much. We've never seen them all together, so I can't even tell you how many of them there are. But there won't be many. Canker has never dared tackle anything too big. Usually just some poor souls on their travels.
That's enough for me.
Well, good luck, lad. Oh, and I almost forgot. When you're done, bring me Canker's mace. As proof.
I'll think about it.
Take care for now.
Good day.
А где я поспать могу? В каком-то сарае.
I have a bit of...
What game?
Может, наверху? Блин. Какая из них моя кровать? Спать и сохраниться, но я не вижу. Должна вообще кровать обозначаться на карте, она не обозначается почему-то. Плохо. Придется... лагерь спать, как обычно. Хотя... можно пойти... Отдать ему все-таки эту книжку.
Good boy. Welcome, sir.
Crazel said you'd teach...
All right. So Crazel took you on just like that? Surprising. Crazel hardly trusts anyone. He's a smart man. So don't you even think about betraying him. That would end badly for you. Not to scare you, though. That's not what I'm here for.
Let's begin.
Not so fast. You're new here, so here's some advice before we get started.
Don't worry. It's not my first time.
Well, well, well. You fancy yourself. Let's see. Where would you look for keys on a person?
In the front pouch, of course.
All right. I see you have some skills. Do you think you're up to stealing something from the front?
You bet.
Then why'd you come to me? I've got nothing new to teach you.
I just want to give it a try.
I'll gladly help you with that. First of all, rich or poor, most folks carry their things in a pouch either in front or in the back. The front one holds keys, coin, and other small items.
And the rest is in the back?
Exactly. Now, this is important. Don't steal from the front pouch unless you're sure you know what you're doing.
No problem. I can manage a different way.
Oh, yeah? And how's that?
I'll take it from behind.
That you can. Just remember, it'll be further away and there's a bigger risk of getting caught.
Don't worry. I've tried it before.
Show me how nimble your fingers are then.
All right? Let's do it.
What are you waiting for? Careful. Did you fall asleep?
Done.
Very nice. I didn't notice you at all, and that's exactly what you want. Now give back what you took.
Here you go. What now?
That's it. It's a simple art. But if you want, you can give it another try.
I'd rather try takedowns.
Why not, since we're here? Well then, it's easy. Sneak up behind me and choke me out. I won't fight back the first time, so you should have no trouble. Just remember, you mustn't let me see you.
All right, I'll give it a try.
Bastard! See? And I didn't even defend myself. Try it again. Remember, if your victim is able to defend himself, you can still turn things around. But it'll be a close call, shall we?
All right, let's do it.
Bastard! Not like that. Try again.
All right, let's do it.
Ow, ow, ow. You've got some strength in those arms. I didn't notice you at all. Nice job. One last time, and for real.
All right.
Nice choke. I'm still seeing stars. I wasn't even aware of you. That's all that's to it. Just one more thing. Not only can you choke someone out, you can even send them to their maker. For that you need a dagger. And now, would you like to try that takedown on me again?
Thanks, but I've learned enough.
Suit yourself. Careful.
Так, у нас кровать должна быть моя поспать. Я могу поспать.
Good morning to you.
Farewell.
Good day to you. Farewell.
I have that document from the rat house for you.
Excellent. I knew I could count on you.
Judging by the contents, it seems like you're dabbling in alchemy here at the mill.
That's not a bad guess. But don't forget about astrology, theurgy, transmutation, and a smidgen of demonology. Although that's something anyone with a grain of sense should avoid. Now show it to me, so I can finally get the knowledge. Good. Good. This will come in handy. Ah, yes. Of course.
What now?
That much? Going to need more. A lot more.
Did you hear me? What now?
Sorry. I got lost in thought. I owe you my thanks as well as reward for getting me the document. And maybe another little job? What do you say?
Don't tell me you've forgotten. I need to get to that wedding in Semin.
Don't worry. Your path is leading that way. Only it'll be a little longer than expected.
You promised you'd get me into that wedding.
I did, but I didn't say when. Besides, things are about to get really interesting. Step by step, we're moving closer to the great revelation.
Enough. I'm sick of listening to your cryptic blabbering. Supposing you first initiate me into the mysteries of your enchanting mill. This isn't any run-of-the-mill business, so to speak. I smell something devilish here.
Devilish?
Может, он порох делает?
Not at all. You guessed it. It's nothing less than high learning. Alchemy! And when I say alchemy, I mean real alchemy. Not some hocus-pocus brewing of potions for creaky joints and bellyache.
Tell me more about it, then. Maybe I'll learn something useful.
I suppose. You are my apprentice, after all. You deserve to know what all of this is leading to. Now, pay close attention. I want to make a golem out of dough.
Ай, боть, блядь.
Using secret alchemical practices and theurgy, bring him to life.
A golem, you say? Isn't that a kind of pie? What are you going to do with a living pie?
Henry, a golem is a helper brought to life using divine words. A living statue endowed with massive strength. Can be made of clay, wood, stone, basically anything. I'll make one out of flour. Studying the Jewish Kabbals taught me a practice known as Maseh Bereshit. A mystic can use it to imitate the work of God. Just imagine. You know how helpful a golem would be at the mill? Carrying sacks, pulling wagons, standing guard. He wouldn't be much smarter than Zinnik, but he'd have the strength of 10 men.
My word. That sounds incredible. I have to see it.
So far, it's just all in my head. But if you're patient and help me, you'll see soon enough. It's in the interest of the advancement and prosperity of mankind. Just look at the Bible. Moses could command the waters and speak to God through the element of fire. And Jesus brought the dead back to life. I've no doubt that if our great Holy Mother Church had been around at the time, they'd have crucified Jesus the same as the Pharisees. And all the apostles would have been burned at the stake.
So a golem, you say, made of flour? For the good of mankind?
Exactly!
And what about the good of me? You promised me a reward.
You already know that you can learn the practical application of certain useful skills from me. But for a few groschen, we could discuss the art on a more, let's say, theoretical level.
I'm overwhelmed with gratitude. Supposing you give me a few groschen first, as a reward for bringing you the document. and then I'll decide whether to trade the coin for some learning.
Oh, see now? I completely forgot. Here you go. So you don't go around saying that Miller Crazel is a pinch purse. I added in what I owe for those sacks you carried. And if you want some more work, there's plenty.
What's this next job all about?
I need to find a saltpeter pit.
Never a wasted word, eh, Crazel?
Short and to the point. That's my credo.
And how long will it take before you tell me what a saltpeter pit is?
A saltpeter pit is a pit in which saltpeter is formed.
Saltpeter is niter, that I know. They're white crystals similar to salt, but I have no idea what you might need it for here at the mill. Or is it supposed to be some peculiar Crazel wedding gift for young Semi?
Nothing of the sort. The Kabbalistic doctrine speaks of saltpeter as a vessel for the inexhaustible essence of life. Those white crystals are said to contain the very essence of being. That's precisely what we need to give life to our golem. Thanks to the ingredients from Hermes Trismegistos, his feet will never get tired, and his fists will have the power to smash rocks. But saltpeter is the most important thing. Saltpeter will be the golem's heart.
So you're serious about this golem? And are you certain it'll work out?
Certainly. Otherwise, I wouldn't even try.
How much saltpeter will it take to bring to life such a big creature?
A lot. That's why I want you to find me a decent saltpeter pit. Do you understand?
I was hoping I'd learn something useful from you. But instead, you're making me wander around the countryside looking for some pit.
Well, you never know when an experience like that might come in handy.
All right, then. I'll look around for that saltpeter pit of yours. I just hope you know where to look, that you can point me in the right direction, and also that you'll get me into that wedding as a reward.
Yes, yes, and yes. Bonnie has a lead. She's a damned handy girl to have around. She can do anything you ask of her. But for you, the most important thing is that she knows how to look for niter, or saltpeter if you prefer.
So this Bonnie, she's a dowser or something?
Bonnie is someone I trust without question, and you should too. Not only will she teach you how to find saltpeter, but also how to differentiate it from common salt. The main difference is it has kind of cooling taste.
Hold your horses. You want me to taste that nasty stuff?
If you don't taste it, you could confuse it with some nasty rot. You don't want that.
Damn right.
Don't be such a lily-liver, Henry. If Bonnie can taste saltpeter, so can you. She'll tell you the rest herself. You'll find her in the lair. That's a secret storage space I have here just by the pond. Only my best people can get in.
How can I get to this lair?
There's a bridge over the mill stream towards the southwest. Take the path to the left, just behind it along the pond. From that path, you turn right, uphill, between the rocks, and you'll find yourself right in front of the lair. You can't miss it. Oh, and so I don't forget, you could pick some herbs along the way to see Bonnie. It would make her very happy. She's just been through some tough times. Her dog died, and on top of that, she has to spend time with that blabbermouth, Zinnik. On the other hand, Zinnik might be holding his tongue for a while, after his encounter with the Troskowitz stocks.
Well, I haven't spoken to Zinnik yet, so at least we'll get to know each other.
Right along, so you're back as soon as possible.
To the lair.
Take care, friend.
Ага, ну там где, я помню. Сюда?
I have for you.
Что это было, блядь?
You're always welcome here, good sir.
I'm Henry, Miller Crazel's new apprentice. He sent me to search for a niter pit and said you might be able to help me with that.
Of course I will. I'm Bonnie. Nice to meet you.
Bonnie? It's not a name I hear often.
It's not the name I was baptized with. In our craft, it ain't a good idea to tell people your real name. That's why we use nicknames. What should we call you?
The Butcher of Brannick.
Well, that's not very creative. You know what? I'll come up with a nickname for you myself when I get to know you better. Did you bring me something from the mill?
Actually, Crazel said you'd appreciate some herbs.
He's right there. Do you have some for me?
I've got something here.
My word, that's exactly what I need. The ingredients for the magic ritual.
What kind of magic ritual?
The kind where Zenek finally gets some sense into his head and stops making stupid beginner's mistakes. Just so you know, that mess with the author of Hermes Trismegistos would never have happened to me. Not me. While we're on the subject of rituals, did Crazel tell you about the golem?
He did.
And what do you think of it?
I'm curious to see what a golem made of flour will look like. But I'm mostly curious to see if Crazel will really be able to breathe life into it with the help of saltpeter.
I'm more worried that as soon as it comes to life, it'll slay us all with one blow. So, if by some chance it looks like something's going wrong, you won't see my heels for dust. And I suggest you do the same. But that's enough of that. We're not going to stand here talking about flower golems when we've barely just met. I'd like to chat with you too, Henry. Get to know you a bit. But if you're in a hurry to find Crazel's saltpeter, I won't keep you.
No, no. I have plenty of time. But where to start?
You know what? I'll start. When they caught Zeneg in Troskovitz, I was scared out of my mind that they'd catch me and clap me in the stocks. I had to hide out here for a while, so I haven't had anyone to talk to. Life in the lair isn't all fun and games. Zeneg and all the other mill knuckleheads were never worth much as company. So I'm glad the
Почти
millers
к концу
finally found a
стрима
normal
пришел.
hand for once. You've got a beautiful dog. What's his name?
Mutt.
What a cute fella. How did you find each other?
Among the wolves. Not a word of a lie. That is, I lost him and then found him again in a wolf pack.
Well, I'll be... That's what I call an interesting past. I used to have a dog, but I don't anymore.
He died.
He started getting these lumps all over his body. He stopped eating, just slept all the time. And then, well, what's done is done. And what about you? What kind of family are you from? Also, thieves?
The very same. When did you steal your first apple?
Before I could even walk. But it wasn't an apple. It was a silver groschen from my godmother.
And you got away with it?
I did indeed. Nobody saw me, not then, not any time since. It came in handy in the convent too. Slipping out of a boring sermon unnoticed, that's what I'm good at. And it don't matter who's preaching, whether it's a priest, an abbot, or Crazel. What do you think of the old miller, anyway?
He seems awfully mystical. He has lots of experience, like as if he's lived for hundreds of years.
It's his beard that does that. Don't let it fool you. Thanks for talking to me. It really is good to have someone to pour my heart out to. But now, about that saltpeter. Before you came, and before Zeneg fucked up with the manuscript, we collected saltpeter all over the place, mainly in sties. It has to be scraped from the walls. Horrible work, time-consuming and annoying. I'm not going to lie to you. We also looked in a few chests, just in case. You know. Anyhow, now all the sties in the region are scraped clean and we're sitting pretty on a nice barrel of saltpeter.
Надеюсь, он не хочет, чтобы я тоже в говне ковырялся.
A barrel isn't much.
But we did bloody thorough job. Unfortunately, Crazel said we need at least 6 times as much.
6 times? Will one saltpeter pit be enough?
I reckon so. There should be as much as Crazel needs for his masterwork. If you're looking for it, you ought to know how saltpeter forms. Do you have any idea?
Certainly. You take a damp wall, like in a sty, you let the water evaporate from it, and you get this salty bloom.
That's right. But like I told you, all the sty walls in the region are scraped clean and we can't wait. Don't forget that saltpeter crystals are formed in places where something is rotting. It can be shit or carcasses. Well, a saltpeter pit is actually nothing more than a mass grave. The best natural saltpeter maker.
Crazel said saltpeter is a vessel for life energy. I get it that it's left over from dead bodies, but how do you get it from shit?
God's mysterious ways. You know how it is.
And he also wanted me to taste it. That's nonsense, though, isn't it?
Unfortunately, it isn't. Otherwise, you won't know if it's saltpeter or some other
Блять,
shit.
реально дерьмо
It
хочет.
feels kind of cold on the tongue.
Jesus. And you know where to look for such a pit full of carcasses, do you?
Not exactly, but I have an idea. Times are evil and there's plenty of corpses. A person who's digging holes and throwing dead bodies into them and doesn't even know he's got a a saltpeter mine.
Кладбище?
The local gravedigger?
Exactly. And the one we have here in the region is also the knacker.
Ah, the gravedigger Ignatius. I've already met him. He lives outside Troskovitz in the direction of Apollonia, right?
Aye, that's him.
So I'm in for a walk to the cemetery.
Seems like it. Too bad you couldn't have walked around the county with us before. It was fun, and pretty useful experience. I learned a lot during that time, and I won't keep it to myself. I'd be happy to teach you something, if you want.
I'll keep that in mind.
That old gravedigger will be suspicious, so I'd bring him some kind of offering. He's always dragging those carcasses, so I'm sure he'd appreciate a slab of fresh meat from Troskovitz butcher.
Good idea.
He lives a short way from the cemetery, so at least the meat won't go bad on the way. Lots of luck, the butcher of Vranyik. Farewell, sir.
А чё, я не мог поговорить с ним? Она сказала, что меня научит чему-то.
Christ, it's hot out.
Why do you work for...
Because he pays well, and don't care how much coin I make on the side.
You mean by stealing?
And he doesn't ask any stupid questions.
What did you do before?
I got by any way I could. Believe it or not, I started in a convent.
You? A nun? Well, why not? I was in the cloisters myself for a while.
Oh well, different people have different fates. But we all ended up here anyway, in the armpit of the world.
What do you think about Crazel?
You're another one of those that don't know if they should love him or hate him, eh? Crazel is his own man. Once you learn to get along with him, you can't help but admire him a bit. But sometimes, he's unbearable as soon as he opens his mouth.
What do you know about the Troskovitz gravedigger?
He's a pretty tough old bird. He follows the rule, I'll treat you the way you treat me. And he appreciates when a fella's direct and open. But I probably wouldn't tell him everything about us.
So, Bonnie, the most honest girl I know, sent me. I'd like to see some dead animals as models for painting a church fresco. A scene from the apocalypse.
That might be a bit much. But you learn fast.
Tell me something more about Zinnek.
He's Andy, that's for sure. But also a bit of a fool. To be honest, I don't care for Crazel's horseshit most of the time either. I do this job because it's fun. Unlike Zinnek. He does everything for his own good, doesn't give a damn about any greater cause or other people. Actually, he really pisses me off with his attitude. And he entertains himself by coming up with the stupidest nicknames for me. Dunga, for instance. What kind of a bloody awful name is Dunga?
Oh, lovely. And what does he call himself?
Scruffy. Or Jan, Nicholas, Franz, Peter, Jakub. The most bland, everyday names. He tries to be careful, but then he opens his big mouth and fucks it all up, just like in Troskovitz.
What is this lair place?
Crazel built a store so all them honest, curious people in the mill, the likes of Hensel, wouldn't have to worry their little heads about what we're doing here.
You mean behind that boarded-up door in the cliff?
We're definitely not doing anything there right now, because of the mess in there. I told Zinnek to clean it up. I think he wants to see if the place will get so rotten that saltpeter will bloom on the walls.
I'd like to learn...
What would you...
Oh.
I hear you're...
All right.
I'd like...
What are you...
Being...
All right.
I'd like...
And what...
Right,
All right.
Два очка. Так, ищу за преступление. О, это хорошо. Где еще навык? Рывковое оружие. 12. В любом поединке тот первый удар. Ого, хорошо. Полностью ударная атака будет несколько быстрее и на 25% мощнее. Только если этот первый удар заблочится, то я так понимаю, все. ГВП, поэтому лучше пехотинца взять, наверное. Еще в Тахове какая-то миссия появилась. О, это бойцы, да?
Stop a while, my good man.
God be with you.
Did you hear about what happened at the big wheel?
At the mill?
Yeah, the place by the Zherovka stream.
What then? Has the water sprite been up to his mischief again?
You could say.
I don't have a lot of time, but I'm always up for a game of dice and a flagon of wine.
I hear you. Never any harm in that. Anyway, that's about all we can do right now, bugger it. Nothing for it but to perch here and wait for our tree.
What do you mean for your tree? You're waiting for it to chop itself down?
Actually, I mean, wait until we can get to work on it.
But what's the hold-up with your tree?
In short, we found the perfect oak for a new mill wheel. Only some horsens set up camp beneath it for the night. And now we're waiting for them to haul arse. Bugger it.
What's your actual line of work?
Me and Yira here are axemen. We make our way round the mills fixing their wheels.
Yeah, and spending half the day sitting by the wayside, eh?
Whoa now, laddie. It takes a lot of walking to find the right tree. There's a lot more to it than you think, bugger it.
Why don't you just send those reprobates packing? You got hands like shovels, and you're scared of a few vagrants?
Vagrants? Hell, man, they're armed to the teeth. They'd kill us, bugger it. And don't stoke my fire, lad, else you'll see what these shovels of mine can do to your face.
Come on, then.
Let's see what you're made of, lad. Show your stuff. Oh. Go on, parry.
You fight like an old hag.
Take that! Jesus! I'm hit! Oh, Christ! Show what you're made of!
Удушающий.
Sakura, you're a gutsy fighter. I'll give you that.
Thanks. Next time, keep your arms closer to your body. You'll be more agile that way.
All right. I get it. That was a pretty good fight, wasn't it?
Yeah, but once was enough.
Definitely. Safe travels.
Что тут 87? Все уже испортилось мясо. Ладно, завтра продолжим. Вечером после 6. Пошел я пока доком. Спасибо, что заходил.